Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Katie Letourneau, and I'm the president of the Lincoln Chamber of Commerce, and it's my pleasure that on behalf of our board of directors to welcome you here today for the official State of the Town with Mayor Easton. Before we get started, let's have a round of applause for Calamus and their staff and for that wonderful meal. If you haven't been to any of the special events here at Calamus, be sure to check them out. They've got a great speakeasy that I've enjoyed recently. I had a really good time. And I hear they also have an upcoming steak night, so check out their website for details on that. Sounds great. This event, everyone, has a really long history of bringing together business professionals and municipal leaders. So in that spirit, I want to thank Mayor Ganan and Acting Regional Chair, Mayor Ganan, and Mayor of West Lincoln for joining us here today. And also, yes, thank you for being here. I also want to acknowledge former Mayor Ray Conkle for being here today. Thank you. As well as Michael Schwepp from Sam Oosterhoff's office. Thanks for joining us today. This event, at its core, reflects something really important about this community, a shared desire to work together, to collaborate, and to move forward with purpose. And over the past nearly 12 years, Mayor Sandra Easton has embodied that spirit. She is led with a mindset of, let's figure this out, and we've really appreciated that. As business owners, we understand that growth rarely comes from easy answers. It comes from problem solving, open dialogue, and a willingness to find a path forward. Mayor Easton has consistently demonstrated that willingness. She has brought an openness to Town Hall, a readiness to listen, to engage, and to find ways to say yes when it makes sense for the future of our community. That kind of leadership has helped create an environment for our businesses to grow, invest, and contribute to the vibrancy of Lincoln. As we look ahead, we know that change is coming. This time next year, Lincoln will have a new mayor. And while we don't know exactly what the future will hold, we do know this. The strength of this community doesn't rest in any one individual. It rests in all of us. It rests in the relationships between business and government. It rests in our shared commitment to building something stronger together. And that's why events like this matter. They create space for connection, for alignment, and for continued collaboration. It's our hope that this event remains a cornerstone for bringing our community together for many years to come. There's no question that we are operating in a time of uncertainty. But here in Lincoln, we have something incredibly valuable. We have strong roots. We have a solid foundation. And we have a community, a business community that is resilient, adaptable, and capable of weathering these challenges. This is a place for our businesses to grow, evolve, and for all of us to truly reach our full potential. As we look ahead to the future, there's also an opportunity for you to help shape it. Nominations are now open for the Lincoln Chamber of Commerce Board of Directors. If you're someone who wants to contribute, to lead, and to play a role in supporting our business community, I encourage you to reach out to our office and find out how you can get involved. And Mayor Easton, you're going to have some time on your hands. I mean, maybe that's your next opportunity. Well, thank you everyone again for being here today. And now I'd like to introduce the CAO of the Town of Lincoln, Michael Kirkopoulos.
Thank you, Katie, and good afternoon, everyone. It is my pleasure to welcome you today and to have the honor of introducing our Mayor, Sandra Easton. Mayor Easton has served the town of Lincoln with dedication, integrity, and a deep commitment to this community. Throughout her time in office, she has led with a steady hand, a clear sense of purpose, and an unwavering focus on what is in the best interests of Lincoln, its residents, businesses, and its future. One of the things I have come to appreciate most in working with Mayor Easton is that leadership is often found in the quieter moments. It is in the phone calls returned after hours, the extra meetings taken to hear resident concerns, and the thoughtful questions asked before a decision is made. And of course, the consistent focus on doing work properly, even when no one sees it. Those moments may not make headlines, but they are the moments that define real public service. Leadership is not always easy. Often means making difficult decisions, balancing competing interests, and staying committed to the long term when the short term may be a lot easier. Mayor Easton has approached that responsibility with professionalism, with care, and with conviction. She has helped guide Lincoln through periods of growth, challenge, and opportunity, but always grounded in a strong belief in this community and the people who call it home. A legacy in public office is not measured only by projects completed or by the motions passed. It is also measured by the trust that is built, the example that is set, and the way a community feels it has been served. Mayor Easton's legacy will be one of steadiness, of decency, and a sincere desire to leave Lincoln stronger than she found it. Today's State of the Town address is especially meaningful as it marks her final State of the Town in office. It is also especially fitting that members of her family are here with us today. Public service is never undertaken by one person alone. I think we all know that. It requires the support, the patience, and encouragement of those closest to us. And we recognize that Mayor Easton's family has shared in that journey of service alongside her. I know that personally, as I think I've had time to speak with Tony definitely, but each of her family members throughout her journey. While there will be future opportunities to formally recognize her contribution, it is important to acknowledge today the many ways she has positively shaped this municipality and this organization. It has been an absolute privilege to work alongside her. Please join me in welcoming, for her final State of the Town address, as the Mayor of Lincoln, Mayor Sandra Easton.
Oh, the sun is coming out. Isn't this good? David Brown. Do you have your stopwatch on? He forgot it. That means there's no limit. I've been warned by my staff not to freelance too much. It is the privilege of the mayor, though, freelancing, that is. It is my pleasure to be here, and this is really a wonderful stand-up crowd. I'm telling you, I think I've had personal interactions with each of you on one occasion or another, and I'm really pleased that you have all taken the time to come. I remember when this room was first built, it was wide open, and it's really beautiful in this final stage. What another wonderful addition to the community. Again, many more choices for people, for weddings, for family events, for election parties. I think it's great. I want to thank the Lincoln Chamber, both Amelia and Katie, and the board for hosting this annual event. It really is a great deal of work. And to all of our partners, businesses, and community leaders who continue to invest your time, energy, and faith in the town of Lincoln, and for your own investments in your businesses, big or small. So much has changed. People are thriving, even in these changing times. I also want to acknowledge the members of council. Diane Ranchima, Ward 1, John Pachariva and Tony Brunet from Ward 2, Anna Murray, Ward 3, and Lynn Timmers and Greg Reimer, Ward 4. I think that most other people have been introduced, so I won't repeat that. But I thank you, Mayor Ray, for coming. Ray Conkle is still, he remains the longest serving mayor. I'll never catch you, Ray. I'm delighted that both Brock University and Niagara College are represented here today. Education has always been what I would consider to be one of the cornerstones of the work. We're not making the policy and linking, but we're not standing in the way of that policy going forward. And we're so pleased that we have continued to have a relationship, including memorandums of understanding that really brought us closer together with greater commitment. Cheryl Ganan, this has been your month. Thank you so much for coming here. Let's be clear, Cheryl's first responsibility is to West Lincoln, but she is on the rotating roster where we've all been for the region. I want to thank you, Cheryl, for your work. It's not easy sitting on both sides in both of those roles. But I want to say to all my political colleagues, one of the most important things that each of you can do right now is to buck up. We don't know what is out there. You need to dress up, you need to show up, and you need to behave like the elder statesman that you are. You are the people that the community is looking to really shine at a time when the unknowns are so difficult for even the most mature politicians to deal with. You have it in you to do many more things, and I hope to see your names on a roster of one kind or another. And I encourage you not to give up. Things will work themselves out. At this table to my right and to the next table, I can see there's nobody doing any work at the town hall. including my daughter-in-law, Kathy. If there's any issues with flooding, sorry, there's nobody on the phone. But I want to recognize their dedication to the town of Lincoln every day. They deliver the programs and services that keep this community running strong. And that work does not happen on its own, but it only happens because of people, because of leadership from our strong CAO, Mike Kirkopoulos. After about 5 years, we figured out who should be in what lane. I think that was pretty good, Mike. Some people never learn that. And the corporate leadership team that are here today, and I'll introduce them later. But the staff across the organization, absolutely everybody at every level is an ambassador. It took a long time to stress with the public works staff the important role that they had. They were more like, they needed to develop more of a political message than almost any of us at difficult times. And many of them have taken that off with panache, and they know how to talk to people. They get their business cards out. They make sure that the public knows who they are and where to go next. It's all about leadership. So remember this, nothing happens, nothing can be done without accountable people who perform outside of self-interest. That is a very, very important message to remember. You have to be able to stand up, stand alone, and move when it counts. I want to take a little different approach today to my annual address. We will talk about challenges, and we will talk about the road ahead. But first, and most importantly, we are going to celebrate. As this term of council comes to a close, I can say with confidence that the town of Lincoln is in a strong position. We are financially stable. We are growing thoughtfully. and we are delivering real results for our residents. But I warn you, anybody who takes on this role or sits on the next council, remember this: do not squander what we have. Do not come into this role thinking that it is going to be smooth sailing. You will have your own challenges. The world turns around us, and we must be able to respond to it. Let's start with something that matters to every resident: financial health. We're leaving this term with the town in good shape and in a financially strong position. If you want to have a discussion anytime about debt, I'm up for it. Debt is a tool, and it's one that we use with a great deal of discretion. But projects are extremely expensive, and we need to use every means that we have in order to keep moving along with those projects. We've taken a responsible approach to our budgeting. We've planned for the long term. We've made strategic investments that will benefit our community for decades. We've kept taxes consistently low on the portion of the tax bill that we can control. And for those of you who aren't aware, that's just 1/3 of the overall tax bill, which goes to the town of Lincoln. That's all we have to work with. In 2026, that translated to a 1.8% increase on Lincoln's piece of that budget pie, which is below the rate of inflation. Now, I want to address something that often comes up, and that is municipal debt. Every municipality faces an infrastructure deficit. Roads, facilities, parks, and services all require ongoing investment. The question is not whether to invest, but how. In Lincoln, we have made a conscious choice to invest responsibly and to invest with purpose. That has meant taking on debt at times, but doing so in a way that is strategic, sustainable, and tied directly to building a better community, because there is a return on that investment. And this is where the discussions become a little bit testy when you're talking to people in private business. Nobody believes that unless there's financial return, that there is such a thing as an investment. I don't agree with that. Council doesn't agree with that. Over the past decade, Lincoln has seen meaningful growth in both jobs and businesses. An increase of 4,200 people in our population, 17%. An increase of 4,400 jobs, 38%. 246 new businesses, bringing us to about 1,075 businesses across the town. I believe there's one spot left in the industrial park, which is a shame because I may have to go on bended knee and purchase some property from West Lincoln. If there was an area where we're just constantly salivating, it's on the West Lincoln industrial land. It's really quite remarkable. But these numbers tell an important story, and they tell us that we're not just a great place to live, but it's a place where businesses want to invest, to grow, and to succeed. It doesn't happen by accident. It happens because we have invested in infrastructure, because we've supported economic development and jobs creation, streamlined processes. Every day, we discard red tape. Just think about that for a minute. Getting rid of red tape isn't about having a campaign. It's about having a conversation with someone, finding out there's a barrier, and getting rid of that barrier to the greatest extent that you can. Our planning department are very good at this. Public Works is very good at this. But you have to be prepared to sit down and have the conversation. Otherwise, you don't know what people want. You may not leave. In fact, you likely won't leave with everything you asked for, but you will leave with what you need. And that's an important position of the town. We've created an environment where businesses feel confident putting down roots and for their employees. So you can see that confidence in major investments are happening right here in our community. So in this last year, Moyer's Apple Products found themselves in a situation a few years ago where they had a fire. They relocated to Jordan. It was working pretty well, but now they're going to be locating in Beamsville sometime in September. They have global markets, and they continue to trade very strongly with the United States. I'm surprised there's no apples on the table today. I'm going to have a chat with Paul. They're everywhere, a very, very popular commodity. There's a new hotel that's development that's coming on Ontario Street, just behind Wendy's. It'll open, I think, 2026, soon anyway. Why does this matter? Well, because we have the Flying Aces, the West Niagara Flying Aces. And in all of our communities, when they have those big competitions, the families want a place to stay. They play everywhere. They play in West Lincoln, they play in Grimsby, they play in Lincoln. I think they play down the peninsula because there's such a huge proposition. But the hotels are useful to us in that regard, and we have also a lot of wonderful B&Bs and a few other small personal household accommodations. These are significant private sector commitments to Lincoln's future, and they support community activities. They're happening because of the work we've done as a municipality, because when we invest in infrastructure and create clear plans, we send a signal. Lincoln is open for business. There are a couple of booklets that, just a moment. On the back wall, there's a long table there. I encourage you to take away these booklets. This one is called Your Town, Your Work. I don't need to explain it to you. It's very easy to read. And this includes all of the projects that are going on in the town. Comes out 2 or 3 times a year by the Public Works Department. And it outlines everything that you need to know about those projects. I can't tell you what the unit cost is, but it's not too much for your benefit, and so we continue to produce it until we find another mechanism. And I was told the other day there's still about 1,400 people in the community that are not connected with the social media, so we can't really put everything on the internet. Second book is the Town of Lincoln Council News. Again, its value is really in how you read it, what you take in, the things that interest you. It's another mechanism that we use. I think it's about $1 a household. I think pretty cheap. Let's talk about a balanced approach to growth. I want to thank Gabe DeSantis for coming today and bringing his family. Gabe has done a great deal of work in the town, and I think we have more work to do. You're going to start soon, Gabe? I don't want to say anything too nice if you're not planning to get started quickly. Okay, we'll keep our eyes out. We're not chasing growth for the sake of growth. And for a while now, I've been hearing some complaining, grousing, criticism, however you want to define it. But the municipalities continue to approve projects. But the circumstances are such that building is not taking place. So, of course, I must bring this up today because I want to put everybody that's in the building business on notice. We are focused on livability, sustainability, and maintaining the character that makes Lincoln special. But we can't do it if the plans are in the drawer. So I know that our staff are working with the developers, and I know that Chuck McShane is here, so he's the chief guy down at Niagara Home Builders Association. Chuck keeps everybody in line, reminds us we're charging too much for development charges. He hasn't written me any checks to pay for any of the internal infrastructure, but I can always hope. Kelly, sitting beside Mr. McShane, she's very senior at the Prudhome's development. So if you haven't been by Prudhome's, you should take a drive by because it's starting to build. I mean, can you believe it? So this is the second, I think this is the second secondary plan. And I was sure this would have started before now, but Kelly, thank you so much. And you can just share with John that he's ahead of Gabe, and we're really happy that we're really happy. Yeah, well, we're really happy that you're holding up your end of things. Yeah, it's going to be good. They're starting with a few single families, but it really is a mixed development, which is what we are looking for. We have proactively communicated the role of municipal government in supporting and enabling balanced growth in accordance with provincial priorities and policies. If I could encourage the members of the public to do anything, it would be to spend a few hours with Matt Bruder, our chief planner, to learn about the important elements that council must follow. The flexibility comes within the planning department, but we have some rules that we have to follow. They are not negotiable for us. So our commitment to sustainability will continue. Our extensive support of value-added agriculture, of which this building and its adjacency to the vineyard, this is an extensive part of our economy. It started with the last official plan, just prior to me coming on as the mayor, and we have really been able to make tremendous use of that policy to build the economy in this community. And of course, our focus on economic growth and well-being. So as we look ahead, challenges remain. Economic uncertainty, rising costs, and increasing demands on municipalities are ahead of us. Lincoln is well positioned now and in the future. We will remain focused on being strong financially, on providing housing opportunities, and on progress. We will continue to seek private investment and grow our tax base. We will be clear in setting direction and ensuring productivity remains a tenet of our success, just like it has been the last 10 years. And we will continue to engage all residents and all views to ensure diversity in our decision-making occurs and that we make decisions that support all. There's always room for improvement and change. I fully encourage and support new ways of doing things, as long as we continue toward a common purpose on common ground. This council has been very effective at managing risk, at staying true to strategic directions, remaining disciplined when carrying out the work plan, and the setting of priorities that are based on the asset management plan and the principles around a state of good repair. The demands for such positioning are directly tied to the decisions of a rational political nature. What I mean by this is if you don't follow the rules, first of all, if you don't have a plan, if you don't have a set of rules that you're following, if you don't stick to the rules and be very disciplined about that, the political nature of your decisions will be doomed to fail. We have spent a great deal of time as a town, politicians, staff, in exercising how we go about doing our work with those principles. When I was working in my other career as a nurse, this was called the nursing process. If you have a plan, if you have a protocol, if you implement things the way they should be implemented, you pay attention to what the responses of the patient are, you will win at the end. You will not have to make decisions on the fly because your plan will see it through every time and you will continue to live to see another day. And I really encourage in these times of change, especially with so much negativity, to, if you're not doing this already, that you look at this and consider it for your own businesses. I now want to reflect personally. Serving as mayor has been one of the greatest privileges of my life. I'm so pleased that my family are here today, all but our one brother, Dale, who is a senior master with BC Ferries. I don't know how many meals I've missed, how many parties I've missed, how many events that I've missed, but it's much easier having them come this way than it is for me to try to get where they are. That will improve, I promise you. But I thank you all for coming here today and for sharing this with me. And Susan, I think we'll just consider that Scotland the Brave is now the new tune for any politician that's feeling that they need a little bit of a build-up in terms of the work they're doing. Thank you very much. It was really important for me to have you do that. No one leads alone, and I believe that I have been very, very fortunate to have worked with some great leaders at many levels in the organization. Mike, I want to thank you first and foremost for partnering with me, for allowing all those missteps that I ever took when I was out of my line. I really didn't want to be the CAO because you just proved to me over and over again, it really is a very, very difficult job. And it does require getting a lot of people lined up every day to do all the right work. So your corporate leadership team, Charlotte, Matt, Dave, Greg, Shannon, Jacqueline, clerk Julie Kirkelos, and librarian Julie Andrews. The best team in the province, there's no doubt about it. I don't say that lightly. That's been told to me many times. So thank you all very much. Paul Deanny is Paul Deanny came to us from the province. I think he worked, so very closely with Kathleen Wynne. He says I listen better than she ever did. Paul, I think it's incredible that if I forgot your name, my apologies. I thank you very much for the person who moved me around very gently for a number of years to make sure I was in the right spot at the right time. So now you see you've got all this extra time, so there you go. All right, to Andrea Chambers, beside Paul. Andrea Chambers is the executive assistant to CAO Kirkopoulos and myself. Andrea, thank you very much for everything you've done. And soon we have the golf tournament coming up. And when I say that people, you don't work alone, the golf tournament has my name on it. Andrea is the organizer. She does all the work. Mike gives her the time, she does all the work, and the benefit to the community is tremendous. So thank you very much, Andrea. And I have another assistant in Richard Sage. Richard, where are you? And Richard is a policy advisor. At one time, we were lucky to hear from the province 2 or 3 times a year. Now we hear from them 2 or 3 times a week. And sometimes the hearing is something that requires quite a bit of additional work. So, Richard, my thanks. Thank you very much. To our business community and our leadership, and its leadership, your investment has made a massive impact. To councils past and present, and especially to this council, many of you are here today, my sincere gratitude. Lastly, to the community, thank you to the bottom of my heart. In front of me is NPEI. NPEI has been a tremendous support to the municipality, to the 3 municipalities, Niagara Falls, West Lincoln, Lincoln, and Pelham, 4 municipalities. And it's great having you here. Sitting as a board member, I got to know so many of you, so it really is very special. Thank you, Igor, for closing your shop for today so that your staff could come and spend time with us. And something very special today is that one of their members happens to be our son's best friend, Daryl. And I can't believe that Daryl is now reached that point in his life when he turns up at the executive table and we're in the same room. And I'm thinking, my gosh, where did that kid go? Where did the kid go that would get up with his friend Dave and go out on their dirt bikes in the middle of the night? Incredible. So Daryl, all the best to you. At the end of the day, as I've said before, I'll say it again, nothing gets done without people. So I just wanted to explain this a little bit. If you don't know me very well, you may not realize that one of the things that I find most difficult in politics is the self-interest. The self-interest meaning that loud voices are only interested in how things impact them. They don't leave any room to consider anybody else. Well, the thing about being a politician is that if you have any thought at all for the rest of the people, you can't accept that as the final word. So nothing gets done without people. But those things that we decide to do need to take all that information into consideration, and the outcome has to be what is good for all of the people. It's not difficult. It's just hard to get everybody in their lane. But we do have some experience with that. I have been thoroughly committed to representing the town of Lincoln as mayor, as a councillor, as the regional councillor, and as the head of council in my role as mayor. We've embraced the culture of the entire community. The staff have certainly embraced this very strongly. And we have led several teams. Our CAO has led several teams of different people to form a service attitude. And when Katie talks about that, what else can we do? How can we do it differently? It's true. We do not have no in the vocabulary. It's all about finding a way. And there are many, many different ways to get work done. Our team are really very, very good at this. So I thank every one of you for all of your support, for your interest to come here today and spend time to understand the different elements of what it is all about to be in municipal politics, and to know that you also have a very important role to play. You have very important skills, you have ideas, You have a future ahead of you in your own businesses and your own agencies. We have learned a great deal from you as well. It has been my honor, my distinct honor to serve you. Thank you. Now, if I haven't made myself unpopular with Mr. Deanne, with Director Deanne, I would like to, better late than never. There's a lovely video, just very short, that the staff have put together, and thank you to whoever those masters of the art are concerned. Thank you all for this work. But it's a nice way to finish. And I think it's just a quick look at Lincoln. Thank you.
Over the past decade, Lincoln has built something strong, a community that is financially stable, growing thoughtfully, and delivering real results. We've taken a strategic approach to growth while making community investments that matter. Because in Lincoln, infrastructure isn't an expense, it's an investment in opportunity. And the result? Safe, connected communities, modern facilities, and a high quality of life that attracts people and businesses. And the numbers speak for themselves. Over 4,000 new residents, 4,400 new jobs, more than 240 new businesses, and a 24% assessment growth. This is a place where businesses choose to invest, expand, and succeed. From major agricultural operations to hospitality and tourism, private sector confidence is strong and growing. Because when a municipality plans ahead, invests wisely, and creates clarity, it sends a clear message. Lincoln is open for business, and we're just getting started.